Hello indie game fans, another fantastic week of indie games await, this time being larger than our recent offerings, with some impressive strategy, action-adventure and Metroidvania titles lined up in this edition of Indie Gaming this week. Let's begin with Rising Hell, a pixel art roguelite platformer that's launching out of early access. This game takes the rising part quite literally, since it focuses on vertical level design, giving it a very interesting game feel which is tied into the combat. Our hero automatically attacks when jumping into enemies from below or from falling on them, making the action quite unique and worth experiencing. It also comes to us from an Indonesian developer, so Southeast Asia represent, so wishing them all the best with launch. The title with the coolest vibe of the week is Aerial Knights Never Yield, a 3D runner title set in a futuristic Tokyo-style Detroit, where you play as a man who has uncovered some evidence that may change his city forever, having to be on the run to escape your enemies and to expose the truth. Very slick and stylish, this gives me a vibe similar to something like Sayonara Wild Hearts, so of course it got my attention. Weirdest title of the week goes to Just Die Already, the self-described old people mayhem simulator, where you're old and angry and have just been kicked out of your retirement home, having to survive and cause as much mayhem in a world where people just want you to die already. Unsurprisingly, this is from the designers of Goat Simulator, having a similar sort of wacky vibe, so if you enjoyed the physics mayhem in that, be sure to pick this up.
I need to ask you something. Do you know why you do what you do? We make a million decisions every day. Are they based on anything other than your gut?
A slick title that looks to change up the point-and-click adventure game is Lacuna, a sci-fi noir adventure, which is a wonderful pixel art title that controls like a platformer, but does have the narrative and puzzle elements of an adventure game. It's a familiar setting, similar to something like Minority Report, where you play as a detective sent to investigate a murder which then turns your whole life upside down. Slick, noir vibes and fantastic pixel art makes it of interest to adventure game fans.
I never thought things would get this messed up. But maybe, just maybe, I can fix them.
I covered The Wild at Heart in my video on the best upcoming games of the month, where this Pikmin-like action-adventure title has been very long in development and finally makes it to launch, which has certainly got me very curious about this. Play as two kids fleeing hardships, finding their way into the deep woods where an ancient evil is imprisoned, where the kids and an army of spritelings adventure, explore, solve puzzles and fight their way through. impressive hand-drawn art style and is not to be missed. Bigger Games of the Week begins with Rust Console Edition, the mega popular survival game that is finally coming to consoles. I was surprised to learn that this wasn't already the case, so if you're curious about this but have never picked this up, be sure to give this a go. Next, I'm still impressed that the truck simulator, SnowRunner, was actually made by a bigger studio, since it is perhaps one of the most niche subgenres ever, since how does driving vehicles through snow while hauling cargo scream AAA? Yet, that appears to exactly be the case, coming to Steam and Switch this week, where the developers have been steadily putting out content and they will be on Season 4 this week, which means plenty of content if you have not gotten this or not touched it since launch. Smaller games begin with ArmaCulture, a very interesting mixture of genres since this is a visual novel RPG mixed with a factory builder, but I don't think that there's anything quite like this on the market and should be free as well, so do give this a go. I love farming sims, as evidenced by my latest video on games like Stardew Valley, so the simple looking Bit Orchard did get my attention, looking like it's a little bit more of a distilled experience, but still very cute nonetheless. Another factory builder title of interest is Boppio, one that, reductively, is factorial, to the extent of having a player avatar, alien creatures, and what seems to be the ultimate goal of launching a rocket, but as a fan of this subgenre, I'm willing to give them a shot. If you enjoy puzzle games, a very intriguing entry of the week is Cardful Planning, one that has you flipping your card around the board, using the powers of the different card suits in real time as you make your way through the levels. One of the best looking games of the week is Dr. Livingstone, I presume? A first-person walking sim puzzle adventure title where you're searching for the titular character as you explore the various parts of his home, gathering clues and solving puzzles in order to do so, and should be for fans of The Room. Developer Deconstruct Team is known for their narrative adventure games like The Red Strings Club and Gods Will Be Watching, where essays on empathy is quite the curiosity. It's a collection of 10 short narrative games, so if you're looking for variety and love their previous work, do give this a go. An awesome RPG with a fantastic hand-drawn art style is Fabled Lands, one that is set in an open world where you explore the land, taking on quests, leveling up, trading goods, and ultimately seeking to escape the Court of Hidden Faces, drawing from a series of gamebooks and is of interest this week. I love JRPGs, so Faraway Qualia got my attention, where it combines turn-based combat with an alchemy simulation aspect, which is the same setup as the Atelier Riser series, but with a more chibi look and seems pretty cool.
AD. Over 10 years ago, humanity launched the first manned mission to Mars. And shortly after, the first Martian settlement was built, which paved the way for further colonization by private companies. And I'm gonna be the first to bring a private colony to Mars. To prove we could survive on the planet, we built a test colony on Earth.
One of the promising upcoming pixel art base builder titles is Farlanders, having you build and develop a colony on Mars, getting a Prologue demo this week, together with its Kickstarter campaign launch.
No pressure. So far, everything is going like clockwork. Terraforming works brilliantly. With a few button clicks, I can remove mountains or create canyons. Have a desert but need fertile soil? Not a problem. Turn water into wine. Try turning a mineral source into water. As for the colony, it looks like this. A typical colonist day begins with work. Most of them have jobs on farms or factories, but some work in the entertainment industry. No one's going to stay in your colony if it's all work and no play. So the evening is for leisure. You can do something social, like go to a restaurant. From what I hear, there's more to the Martian project than what they broadcast out, something they aren't ready to tell the public. Okay, most people think I'm just being paranoid. If all goes well and I find my way to Mars, I'll finally get some real answers.
I've been following the developer of Fish Person Shooter on Twitter for quite a while, since the early days of this channel, and I'm happy to see that his game is releasing in early access this week. What seems like a stupid play on words on the term FPS has evolved into a full game, being an old school FPS like Doom and does have an interesting hook mechanic. I'm a sucker for mining games like SteamWorld Dig, and even titles from Flash game history, so Galactic Mining Corp did get my attention, but interestingly, this adds a roguelite element to the game which should make it even more compelling to me. One of the best titles to come out of Apple Arcade is Grindstone, where this Match 3 title gets a PC version this week, although to the chagrin of some of you, will be releasing on the Epic Games Store. A good-looking action platformer this week is Guardian of Lore, where you delve into stories and legends to protect and preserve them from evil magic. Gutwhale is one of those underrated roguelite platformers where you battle your way through the digestive system of a whale with an interesting ammo management aspect where you need to run after and collect expanded rounds, getting console versions this week. The title in contention for Hidden Gem of the Week might just be Insect Adventure, a hand-drawn Metroidvania title starring insects, looking pretty awesome with good movement abilities, making it for fans of the genre. Knighted is a pixel art, chess-like strategy game where you need to outwit your opponent, having a story campaign, skirmish mode against CPU, and even online multiplayer support. Based on the look, it does give me some vibes of the excellent War Groove, but with a more limited number of units with the 1:1 equivalent of chess pieces, but to see this concept being applied to varied maps and layouts makes it of interest. I was immediately drawn to the look of Ms.Director, one that uses a monochrome color palette and is a pixel art horror title made in RPG Maker, which you might think is not that scary, but cameras and heads are going to roll in this. A first-person prison guard simulator as a game seems like a strange concept, which may be steeped in stereotypes, so I would advise proceeding with caution on Prison Simulator Prologue, although as always, first-person sims have a funny way of getting attention and blowing up, so it might be of interest to streamers out there. I've been keeping an eye on the roguelite deck builder Rise of the Slime, since I do love the almost Paper Mario art style of this, where it launched in 2019 during the heyday of Slay the Spire fever, and is finally launching out of early access and onto consoles as well this week. Not sure how to pronounce the name of this game, and again, side note, developers please don't do this, or at the very least, put in a pronunciation guide in the description, but it's an arcade roguelite shooter which has you gathering a snake of heroes which automatically attack, moving around the playfield to defeat our enemies, looking similar in concept to Nimble Quest from 2013 if anyone remembers that.
Deadliest war in the history of mankind is about to begin. Witness World War II through the eyes of the British and American top commanders.
Developer Games is known for their strategy titles, with the Strategic Mind series, but the latest entry is named Fight for Freedom, set in World War II.
Wind or rain, an officer and a gentleman never backs down. Save the British Expeditionary Force at Dunkirk. Crush Rommel in North Africa, from El Alamein to Tunisia. Finally oversee the massive invasion of Italy and take the Allies back to Europe. In the United States campaign, lead the Normandy landings as General Dwight Eisenhower. Against all odds, hold the line in the Battle of the Bulge. Command the vast Allied military as it pushes for Berlin and ends the war in Europe. Then switch to the alternate history and launch Operation Unthinkable against the USSR. Race for Moscow and replace the dictatorship with democracy. Or perish in the Russian wilderness like all the others. The peoples of the world are putting their hopes in you. Can you defeat the world tyranny for good?
One of the most impressive open-world narrative RPGs is Sunless Skies, releasing an update titled Sovereign Edition, together with launches on consoles this week, but if you have never played this or Sunless Sea, it's definitely one to get. An adorable title that drew me in with the hand-drawn art style is Tiger Trio's Tasty Travels, a puzzle game that has you serving the right food to the right customer, coming to us from a Japanese developer and will be Switch exclusive for now. Another title that has been a very long time coming is WaveCrash, an action puzzle title where you match blocks and send them to attack your opponent, finally coming out after multiple delays due to personal demons, so wishing this developer all the best. Blue Devil in the Belvedere seems like a complicated name for a game, but all you need to know that it's another bullet hell shooter tapping on the Toho project, so if you know, you know. Let's kick off the top 5 with Mind Scanners, a very intriguing narrative title that will of course be compared to Papers, Please. Play as a government-appointed mind scanner who has to diagnose and treat the citizens of a place known as The Structure, where the reward or implied threat of allowing you to see your daughter adds to the whole dystopia vibe. One of the most interesting mishmash of genres and ideas is Siege Survival Gloria Victis, a survival RTS title where you and a handful of civilians are under siege and have to survive, adding in stealth exploration in addition to the management with an excellently done trailer, so I'll leave you to the developer.
Listen to me and hear a grand tale of a city unaware of what's to come. Bloodshed and cruelty, famine and strife. These dark days may well be its last. A savage army of Northmen, 10 times 100 strong, marched into the once peaceful realm. With fire and steel, they crushed all in their path. Not even women and children were left unharmed. But the castle gates blocked their path, and mighty were its walls. Will this be a bastion of freedom? Only time will tell. Burning arrows and rocks rain down from above. But inside, the day's work never ends. Starvation and thirst threaten the few within the walls, and so their bravest venture into the ravaged city, sneaking through the ruins at night, gathering what they can to keep those left alive. But time is short and resources few. Who can be saved, and who must be cast aside? Grim decisions for grim times. The days and nights pass by, taking with them those who lost the fight. Their stories are told, and deaths bemoaned. But the fate of the city and its folk was lost in the mists of time.
If If you know me, I do enjoy action-adventure titles, so of course, Mayhem in Single Valley gets a good spot, a title where you're trying to prevent the end of the world due to radioactive animals, which was your fault in the first place, looking also awesome with the mixture of 2D and 3D, and I'm confident this will be good.
Hello, boys and girls.
Metroidvania fans rejoice with a title of interest this week with the awesome Pheromonium, a creepy cute title where you play as a growing phobia, wanting to become as powerful as possible, having an awesome hand-drawn art style similar to a Cuphead but not quite, and comes to us from developer Red Black Spade, who you might know from the underrated Cat Maze as well.
Everything takes place in the mind of a teenage boy, and you must break through all the boundaries to uncover its many hidden corners.
As a fan of this genre, I do have to give this a go, although some of you did express concern over the frames of animation in this, but we'll have to see when this launches.
Come, sit down. You are not the first Earl to come seek my guidance.
Mark my words, Frozenheim will be a title that blows up in popularity, since Viking games are hot right now due to Assassin's Creed Valhalla from last year and Valheim from this year, where this Viking city builder RTS has a fantastic look.
I see your hard work. Good farmland is scarce, yet you make the best of every...
On top of building and managing your settlement, you need to build longships and train your warriors to go on raids as well, fighting to survive and thrive in the frozen north to secure your place in Valhalla.
The nightmares haunt you at night. Everything you have built turned into ash. The nightmares are nothing but a warning. Odin has given you a blessing, but it is up to you not to let others take it from you.
It really looks so awesome, plus a great theme makes it of interest, taking the #1 spot. To see more of the big picture, check out these awesome videos, and I will see you after the jump.
Make